Welcome back to the shop, and what would be part 2 of my stereo upgrade here on Project Street Queen. You see, among the mess of parts here on my workbench, I've got 2 really important things. I've got a new set of speakers, I've got some kicker coaxial 6.5s, and I've got my old set of Bose speakers. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind. You're going to probably be wondering, aren't these a different ohm rating? Well, yes, they are 4 ohm. And these are 2 ohm speakers. Well, not exactly. They should be 2 ohm, but the insane amount of resistance in these speakers from these corroded terminals, you can see my wiring is all turned green from corrosion. These are either open circuit or 2.5 or 4 or 6, or it really depends. You see, water and different debris and crap has gotten on these speakers over the years, so sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, which is ultimately why we're getting in here to replace them. The Bose speakers themselves weren't all that bad, especially for somebody who can't hear very well. These kickers, however, are going to give a greater dynamic range because of the coaxial part of it, and for me, hopefully I'll be able to hear some words now when I'm driving down the road and not just the beautiful diesel noises that this truck puts out. But see, we're not gonna stop with the speakers. I've already sound deadened the doors with some of this, I think this is 80 mil Silas sound deadening that I picked up off of Amazon. I've got another box of it for when I pull the carpet out. We're gonna be putting some foam rings around the outside of the speaker, not the center, just the outside, so that we can seal the speaker up to the door frame so it doesn't rattle. And then on the inside, we're going to do a little more sound treatment with these foam padding boxes, or foam boxes, foam circles. That's a circle inside of a box, so it's a squircle, boxel, I don't know. We're putting these in the doors. I've already done the right side because neither of those speakers were working. The driver's side speakers sometimes work, this being the rear and this being the front. We do have to do a little bit of figuring to get these in there, but it's actually a pretty easy job that doesn't require that many tools. So let's go ahead and start with the back, and we'll get that back speaker out. The rear door panels are really easy to get out. We're going to start by popping this guy out. Pop it from the back side, comes right out. Then we've got a 7mm screw here and one down here. After we get this center cover off, we're just gonna... This rear one, you wanna pull from the front, not the back, because the back side has our clip that we don't wanna break, and the front and middle, or front and back sides here, have these metal spring clips. Now we come straight up and away from the door to get our switch. This guy requires pinching from the inside here, and that's kind of tough to get to. You can see on my door, I've already resealed all of the vapor barriers on all 4 doors. Inside, you probably can't tell, but you see the shiny back there. I have put sound deadening on the inside of all my doors as well in preparation for speakers, which I knew I'd be doing later. So this guy is going to be pretty simple. Let's just get our 4 screws out first. These are 1/4 inch with big old thick threads on them for going into plastic. Our connector, we got to push the little back side of it down and wiggle it back. That's it. Now these little ridges that hold the speaker in place, they're going to be a problem. So we're going to be getting rid of these so that our new speaker can sit flat. If you don't get rid of those, the back side of the speaker is going to have this weird gap there. And one of the things you want to do is try to get this back side as sealed as possible from both the door cavity and from vibration. And that's just not going to work. I'm just going to use a Dremel with a little diamond wheel to trim these edges off of here. Now that we've got a nice smooth surface, we can put our baffle in, our foam baffle. That was the word I was looking for, not a squircle, not a boxel, a foam baffle. Now, one thing to note that I did notice on the other side is that the window regulator does squeak right by here, and the baffles that I bought the extra deep ones for these speakers, which are a little bit too deep. So you will get a little bit of scraping on the back side of here. And hopefully I don't wind up ripping these. If I do, I'll come through later and I'll put a whole different set in. But for now, The window goes down, it works. It makes a little sound as it goes down the backside of it. These rear door speaker boxes, or whatever these things are a bit tighter than the baffle. So what I found on my other side was just squeeze it back in there, and the foam will shape pretty well with it. And the speakers aren't actually that deep, so you don't have to go all the way back there. So you could leave it out and roll it out flat on this side. But this is what we're gonna try here. And we'll see where that window goes. I may have to plug this stupid switch in to get the window to go though. There we go. Oh, that was extra noisy. You know, I can hear it right there on the backside, but I think it's totally fine. I can't feel anything right there. And the glass is on the other side, so what's happening is it's probably just the little arm of the regulator. Okay, you can see right there where it kind of scrapes down the backside. It might cut a hole in there, but on this side, I'll roll it out just a little bit. So what I'm going to do next is put my screws in so that I can identify my holes. There we go. So we can just roll this out a little extra further and it'll be solid. So by doing this, I can find my screws, put my drill on there, and back them out. Now I know where my screw hole is. This baffle will help to keep the sound this way, keep vibrations out of the door. It will also help to not have the speakers getting all wet back there and then get corroded like the old ones did. And then something that's pretty slick about these rear speakers is the inside hole lines up with the holes on our factory screws. So we can just line all that up, lock it down. Now it's still a bit of a noodle. I am using the new screws that came with it. Figure out where to put these. Go through. I'm going for tight, but not deforming anything. Just squeezed in there where we want it. All right, before we can get the door panel on, we're going to do our last bit of sound treatment, and that's going to be to install this foam ring. This is going to help to seal the gap between the speaker and the door. It will help prevent rattles, and for deaf old dudes like me, it will help to also direct the sound straight out instead of bouncing around inside the cavity of the door panel. I've got links to all this stuff down below. I picked most of it up. In fact, I picked all of it up on Amazon. And this foam is pretty dense, but also extraordinarily soft. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. But you can see how it forms really nicely. So we're just gonna squeeze that around. Gotta line up all of our little pins or our door hooks. And then slide everything down into place. And double check inside there, look through our screen, make sure that our foam is where we want it. Couple of screws and we're moving on to the front. Don't go too tight with that one. It'll easily break that plastic trim back there. Bam. Up front, we've got our screw here, hidden back there. We've got our lock tab, our cover, push pin here, screw here, and sail panel here. Screw hiding back there. This is the one odd man out. It's a T20. This nice long threaded collar or non-threaded collar with the screw inside of it. I got it. Get all those weird connectors out of there. Now this speaker is a little different because it just has this little top spring clip to go in here, which is kind of a bummer because it makes it a little more work to put the new speaker in, but not much. Really get under it. All right, so up front, our sound baffles fit way better than in the rear, and they don't get in the way of the window back there, so we can slide these all the way in. Now, the only difference with the front is we don't have that nice plastic housing that we could mount our speaker to. So we're going to use a set of self-tappers in the corners to go into the metal frame. We'll put our harness on here, pop her through, and then we'll be almost done. And I'm just using these 5/16 self-tapping screws that I had on hand. We got to pull our self-adhesive backing off, center it up on our speaker. Reinstall our door panel. You can't really see what's happening back here, but plug all these guys in. All right, I can see our foam back there. We didn't get all of our latches in. Pop our screws in, and we're set. Well, in just over an hour, I got all 4-door speakers done. I've got them sound dampened, insulated, and well, that's basically it. It's gonna be a lot better sound. It is already a lot better sound than the speakers that didn't work, which is pretty much a given. And from what I can already tell, just playing with the EQ on my head unit, the quality is better because I've got more range. Now, that's gonna be a hugely debated topic, but I don't know that anybody's gonna argue that some 20-year-old speakers are gonna perform better than some newer, more modern speakers. So take a look at the links down below. I've got everything that I installed on the truck linked down there so that you can get the same job done on yours, including a link to the video where I installed my Eon head unit that works absolutely marvelously. So take a look at the links down below. Like, subscribe, comment, join the channel, become part of the garage crew, and help support us as we make more projects happen. We'll see you in the next one.